everybody who is watching this fantastic video. I'm very happy to have you. I'll take this opportunity to welcome you into these incredible and fantastic sessions and programs of teaching advanced secondary students and everybody who is interested or who is loving mathematics for the rest of his or her own life. My name is Olenjolai Losingo. I'm a national teacher of advanced mathematics. I'm here just to give you or to share with you good news in coordinate geometry of what that the Lord has taught me concerning about coordinate geometry. One of the very interesting topics. So I would like to take this opportunity first of all to welcome everybody who is watching, whether you're a national, international viewer. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you into one of our online schools. It's called Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Simultaneously, we would like to distribute these programs or these contents to every student around the world. So we are using the power of the internet and the capability and ability of the internet in order to distribute and share the secrets of advanced mathematics, advanced physics, basic mathematics, and also advanced chemistry. Those are the current subjects that we are teaching right now. So we have one of our official YouTube channel, which is called Tanzania Online A-Level Secondary School in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. So the next question, thank you for being welcomed by Olenjolai. Okay. The next question that you have in your mind after you've been welcomed by me into the to ASO or Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Then the next question that you have, what are we doing? What the purpose of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket OLENJOLAIM? That is a very interesting and very important question for the rest of the life of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School. So we have a mission, or we have an assignment from the Lord Himself, who has given me a gift of teaching, to teach and train some of the students on how they can extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from advanced mathematics, advanced physics, advanced chemistry, or in general it means from mathematics and science, and combine that knowledge extracted, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom extracted from those areas of interest with the knowledge that we are going to teach them to extract on how they can extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the Word of God written in the Holy Bible in order to solve real life problems. So, it means that the main objective of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School is not to have students to pass the exam. That's one of our specific objectives. Our main objective is to train students and challenge them to think outside of their class, to think that there are some problems, real waiting the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that have been accumulating for several years in order for them to get, it means that to prosper themselves and even also to benefit the community which is experiencing such kind of a problem. So our main objective is how you can think problems. However, that will be focusing on teaching students on how they have to understand it, or they have to go through the formal educations in advanced education. But remember that our interest, our main objective is how you can use that knowledge to solve real life problems. So the first part of this program will be teaching you the fundamental, the ideas, the different advanced concepts, just in a very simplified way. So possibly you are a student or a parent or a guardian or a sponsor. So, and you have been experiencing so many challenges on mastering advanced mathematics or advanced physics or advanced chemistry. And then possibly you have given up because of the locations, possibly that you are away from the place where you can get the good advanced educations, and then maybe from the normal family, it means the life standard. So possibly you want to quit from science. I want to tell you that don't quit. It's very important for you right now. Try the techniques and the methods, the methodologies that we are using in Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in order for you to just solve your problems. Again, we don't know everything. I don't know everything concerning about advanced mathematics or advanced physics or advanced chemistry. I just know small portions of this subject because I love them. So every day I'm learning them. So it means that, but what I know, I have a responsibility to teach others. So take your pain. We need serious students. We are very serious. We're expecting to teach you so many topics. For example, in advanced mathematics for the Form 5, we have to teach you all the 10 topics according to the syllabus. and you'll be enjoying them for the rest of your life, and even don't want to end your learning them, because that's how the beauty of advanced mathematics and advanced physics and advanced chemistry is. When you master them, you find that you just feel happy to study them day after day. So when you hear that this is the end of Form 5, you find that you are unhappy. But for the lovers of advanced physics and advanced chemistry. So whenever you join any school physically, the first thing that you have to do is registration. So how can you register yourself into TASO? So TASO, it's abbreviations of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. So how can you be registered? Number one, if you have an email, just skip the first step. If you don't have, then the first step, create or open a new email. If you don't have one, a new email. Okay? So it can be maybe Yahoo email, or it can be a Gmail. At the first step, if you have your email, just go to the second step. The second step will ask you to sign in YouTube. Okay? How do you get or open a new email? Just go to the Google and then write that how can I create a new email, then you'll see the options, a new Yahoo email or new Gmail. Sign in YouTube by using your email. Okay? By using your email. So then the next step, which is the third step, will ask you to do the following. Okay? So the third step that you have to follow, it means you have to search in YouTube now. You are in YouTube. Search what? To ASO. Don't write to ASO. Just write Tanzania Online Advanced. Just write this one. Tanzania Online A-Level Certificate School in square bracket Olenjolai. Then once you are there, just click it, and then you'll find you're already in the school. If you click there, because you see the round buttons, and here we have a national flag of Tanzania. Just click, and then you're already in the school. And then you'll see uploads. You'll see a home, and then just you see the home. Okay, you see home, you see videos, you see playlist, you see community, and then you see the word about. Okay, community channels, and the word about. So the very important part is playlist, because we have departments in this online school. The first step, we ask you to click the button you see at the bottom of your right hand side, which has been written in white text as what you subscribe. So click this. When you click this button, then you have already subscribed. So then before you subscribe, it's written subscribe. Once you subscribe, it's going to be written subscribed. And then the icon of the bell will appear. Click this one once, and then so you see the option, choose the options of all. Then the good news, now you are permanently registered in Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. Why should you subscribe? That's a very important question. The aim for you to subscribe is, first of all, subscribe, it's an English word, which means that it gives me information when the new brand product is being released by the certain production industry. So right now we are teaching you session 4, session 7, or 40 of coordinate geometry 1. We are expecting to have more than 20 sessions or 40 of coordinate geometry 1, but that's not the case. In Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai, we're expecting to upload or to prepare more than 500 teaching videos or learning videos. So it means whenever we add any new video, you will get notifications at any time when you get into internet and anywhere. So you see the necessity. It means that if you're watching right now session 7, there is session 8, session 9, session 10, which are still coming. So whenever I add them into our YouTube channel, and then you've already subscribed to our YouTube channel, you get notification that there is a new session, you have to go through it. All right? I believe that you have understood. So I don't want to waste much of your time. Let us go to the business that make me and I to meet. We are in departments of advanced mathematics. We are teaching 4 subjects here. One of the subjects is advanced mathematics for the pre-form 5 or form 5 students. And then we have 10 chapters that we have to cover. Today we are in chapter 4, which is called coordinate geometry 1, because we have coordinate geometry 1 and coordinate geometry 2. So we are in coordinate geometry 1. And this is session 7. and stated as the equation of an angle bisector. The equation of an angle bisector. That's according to the syllabus. If you go through the syllabus of advanced certificate of advanced mathematics for advanced education from 5 to from 6, this book, right? This book, the one that I used to recommend that you have to make sure that you have it when you want to master advanced mathematics. Okay, you use it during your life of Form 5 and during your life of Form 6. So we are in subtopic called the rectangular Cartesian coordinate, and today we are going to learn about the specific the physics specific objective, derive an equation of an angle bisector. So that's the business that we have today, and I believe that you are well prepared. So just let me do the quick review. The quick review of what? The quick review of simply session 4 to session 6. So in session 4, session 5, and session 6, we taught you on how you can find a distance from a line. So we call it perpendicular distance. So we derived that the formula is d is equal to ax plus by plus c, like this one, and then we have what? Absolute. So this is the absolute of ax plus y plus c, and then of what? Square root of a square plus b square. So this is perpendicular distance formula. So this is the formula which is very important, and even today we are going to use. So remember that I mean that the standard we call it again standard equations of what? Standard equations of a line, of a straight line, of a line is expressed as what? Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. But again, she said this can be expressed as y is equal to mx plus c. But this one, we can have coefficients which are uppercase, means ax plus by plus c, this is equal to 0. So these forms are common forms of what? So even also, if the given equation is in this form, you say ax plus by plus c, then we have what is square root of what? A square plus b square. So also this is perpendicular distance from a point to a line. So today we are teaching you another new concept. We are building a concept on what we taught you in session 4, session 5, and session 6. And we taught you on how you can derive. We have that was session 6. We taught you how you can derive that formula. We had a long, interesting, beautiful derivations, more than you think. So today we are dealing with equation of an angle bisector. So angle bisector. So first of all, we have angle bisector. So it means that the angle bisector. So let us begin with angle bisector. So what is angle bisector, first of all, before we deal with the question of the angle of an angle bisector? Okay. So the question is, what is the question of an angle? What is the meaning? So what is the equation of an angle bisector? So what is the equation of an angle bisector? So simply say that is the equation. So this is the equation, okay? Is a equation which divides, okay, which divides the angle between two lines, okay, the angle between two lines into equal angles, into two equal angles. Now the meanings of equation. So it's an equation which divides an angle between two lines into two equal angles. Right? So how do we get the equation of the angle bisector, of an angle bisector? Well, so you say that we can get equations because we are looking for the equation. So equation means that linear equation. of an angle bisector, right? So whenever we are finding, first of all, we have to understand what it means of angle bisector. So it means that the process of angle bisector, it means whenever you hear the word bisector in mathematics, it means divide into two equal parts. So angle bisector means we are dividing an angle into two equal parts. So now, if maybe we want to understand now, it means clearly what is angle bisector, okay? What is angle bisector? So angle bisector, we say that in coordinate geometry is a technique of what? Of dividing what? Dividing an angle into two equal parts. Parts. Okay? So how the angle bisector is formed? Okay? So how? So we don't say that how. Let us say the derivation of the formula of angle. Please copy this instruction, registration instruction, derivation of formula of angle bisector. Of the equation of the angle bisector. Excuse me. Derivation of the formula of equation of the angle bisector. Angle bisector. Of the angle bisector. Okay? So you say that the first step the equation of the, but before the first step, not before. The equation, the line means the angle bisector line. Bisector line passes the point passes between the point of intersection of what? Of two lines. What does it mean? We say that the angle bisector line passes between the point of intersections of the two lines. That's the concept. Please pause the video, copy these instructions if you didn't do, because I want to clean the blackboard in order to transform your mindset from one level of your understanding to the next level. So the first step, say that let us sketch the angle bisector. Sketch the angle bisector. So let us sketch the angle bisector and give you the overview, because I know through sketching you may understand easily more than using words. Okay, suppose that this is an y axis. So this is y axis and this is x axis. Okay, so this is original point. Okay, so then we say that suppose we have two straight lines here. Okay, we have two straight lines. So we have two straight lines here. So this is the straight line. Okay, and then we have again another straight line. Okay, so we have again another straight line. So this is another straight line. Okay, so here we have an angle, and again here we have another angle. Okay, so suppose that this is angle theta, and suppose that this is angle alpha. Okay, so then we say that here we have another straight line which passes what? Excuse me. So this is point of intersection. So suppose that this is lane 1 and this is lane 2. And suppose that lane 1, its equation is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. And suppose that lane 2, its equation is ax plus by plus c is equal to what? Is equal to 0. So this is point of intersection. Then suppose that we have what? We have a line that passes through this intersection point. Okay? So in this line, we say that, okay, so y-axis, x-axis. So in this line, say that this is what we call angle bisector. So this is what we call the angle bisector line. So it bisects what? So you have to draw it correctly. So this one bisecting previously this was angle theta, and right now it is theta over 2, and here theta over 2. So it's bisecting that angle. Before this was alpha, but right now it is alpha over 2, and this angle is alpha over 2. Okay? So this is called the angle bisector line. So it's bisecting two lines. We can have also another angle bisector which is bisecting here. But remember that, excuse me, the angle here should be the same. So this is still theta, and here also we have theta over 2, and here we have 40 theta over 2. So that is angle bisector line. But we say that in coordinate geometry, we can have an angle bisector of the two angles. Okay, it can be angle bisector of the acute angle. We say that whenever two lines meet, so this is not. Whenever two lines meet, okay. So let us call this is angle bisector line 1. So we say that this is half an hour. We say that in geometry, whenever two straight lines meet, okay, whenever two straight lines meet, they make two different angles. Two different angles that are acute and the obtuse angle. And obtuse angles. So we have, so means whenever two lines meet, they can make either what? Obtuse angle, or no, they make two angles, acute and obtuse angle. So whenever two lines meet, this is a principle, right? Whenever two lines meet, they make obtuse angle and acute angle. That is. So because of this one, if these two lines, lane 1 and lane 2 in figure what? So remember that this is figure 7.21. So when lane 1 and lane 2 meets at this point of intersection, let's say point P, they make two angles. The first angle is theta between lane 1 and lane 2, and the second angle here, so listen carefully. So you have this angle which you call the theta, and also you have this angle which we still call it theta, but again you have another obtuse angle. This one, let us call it alpha, and also you have the same. So this is the same, the same angle. So this is acute angle, obtuse angle. So it means that the questions of an angle bisector, it can be either dividing the acute angle or it can be dividing the obtuse angle. Wonderful. So it means that we expect the equation of bisector to be two equations. One equation which dividing the acute angle, and then the other one dividing obtuse angle. So you say that types of what? Types of equation, EQN, applications of equation. Equation of what? Angle. Types of equation of angle bisector. Right? So you say that in geometry, This is fact. This is the subject that explains about the fact. In geometry, there are two types of 40 of equation of angle bisector. So these are the first one is called acute angle, equation of the acute angle bisector. So the first one is called bisector of acute angle. So we say that equation of an angle bisector. Okay, equation of an angle bisector. Equation of an acute angle bisector. And then this one, the second one, is called the equation of what? Of an obtuse angle bisector. Wonderful. Advanced mathematics is beautiful. So you see the secret, everything is visible. Okay. So then you'll find that these two lines are perpendicular. Okay, these two lines are perpendicular. So if you do remember that these two lines, you can find that they are perpendicular, first of all. So it means that the equation of one line will be opposite to another line. So it will be in opposite direction. Okay. So we say that, okay. So we say that, okay. So second step, sketch the angle bisector line. So this is angle bisector line. So let's say maybe a second step, sketch the graph of what? So sketch the graph of the angle bisector. So sketch the graph of acute and the obtuse angle bisector. So listen carefully. If you didn't understand the first figure of this session, please, of session 7, please follow along this second figure. Believe me, you will understand whether you like or you don't like. Okay? So this is 0. So this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Okay? Suppose that we have two lines. We have any two lines. They can just intersect even here. So it's not that. Suppose that you have two lines. Okay? This is line 1. And this line 1, its equation is ax plus by plus c. Then it's intersecting with another line, right? So it's intersecting, they can even intersect in this way. So you have to understand, you should not crane. Okay? So you can see the acute angle. So this is what? So this is line 2, and its equation is ax by, its general equation is equal to 0. Wonderful. So this is point of intersection, right? So point of intersection. So then, between this angle, so remember that this angle is equal to this angle. I believe that you remember the theorems that we have taught you in OLEM. So suppose that this is angle theta. Okay? And then remember that this angle is equal to this angle. And this is angle alpha. Suppose that is angle alpha. So which is acute angle in observation? In observation, which is acute angle and which is obtuse angle? So this is obtuse angle. This is obtuse angle, alpha is obtuse angle, and theta is what? Acute angle. So let us now draw the equations of what? Of perpendicular bisector. So for you have to use measurement But for me, let me just draw it this way. Okay? So this is the line that passing through there. And also, we can have another question of the line of bisector which passing here. Okay? So remember that. So this line divides what? The acute angle into two parts. So right now, here, the theta over 2. And here, the theta over 2. Right? Similarly, here, the theta over 2. And here, the theta over 2. Again, remember that this angle is alpha over 2. And this angle is alpha over 2. Again, remember that alpha over 2, okay, alpha over 2. So again, remember that this angle is alpha over 2, and this one also it's alpha, this one, yes, alpha over 2, something like that. So remember that this is equal to acute, so this is equal to acute angle bisector line, and this we call the obs angle bisector line. So this is a wonderful figure. So we got the figure 16.20.2, 7.2. I think that now you understood. So you're seeing the two acute angles. So that's the second step, because I want you to understand, because you don't have long derivations, like maybe in finding deriving the general formula of finding perpendicular distance from a point to a line. Just here we are dealing with logic, and we deal with what we have taught you in advance. That's why we taught you the concept of the distance from a point to a line before we taught you about perpendicular, or we taught you about the equation of an angle bisector, okay? So you say that in the angle bisector, perpendicular angle bisector, the angle bisector is also known in some of the books as perpendicular, and I'll tell you why. It's called perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. Why? I will tell you. Just stay tuned. I will tell you soon. Soon I will tell you. So the angle bisector is called perpendicular bisector, and there's a reason to call it that. It's just like the distance from the point, from a point to a line is also called the perpendicular distance, perpendicular shortest distance from the point to a line. So then right now we want to think on how we can find this equation. Okay? So we say that you have to understand mathematically, then so we can deal with these issues. Okay? We can deal with these issues. So we go for the third step. Okay? Go for the third step. So we say that you sketch the graph of what? Of perpendicular bisector. So we'll be dealing with one. We'll be dealing with what? We're going to deal with one that I'll be teaching about acute angle bisector, and how we're dealing with it in this way. This is y axis, and then here we are. This is what? Y axis. This is what? X axis. So suppose that we have these two lines. Suppose that we have these two lines. Line 1. Then have again another line, line 2. So suppose that this is, will it make a sense? To make a sense, we may just say that, suppose also we have another line, suppose also we have another line here. This is line 1, this is line 2. Okay? And then this is the point of intersection. So remember that this is what? Acute angle, and this is acute angle. This is obtuse angle. So if we draw the angle bisector line, then we can have it as a line like this one. So this we call it acute angle bisector line. So listen carefully. So because this is bisector line, if we take a point, suppose that this is point P and this is point Q. If you take a point and draw a straight line from line 2 to this point, then you'll find that this line will be perpendicular. Okay? So it will be perpendicular to this line. So this line, so suppose that this is point PQR, point R. And then so we can find the distance from what? From the point, distance which we call D1, from this point Q to the line L2. Again, if you draw the distance from point Q to another point, perpendicular distance to another point which is PQRS, which is S, then we'll find that this line will be perpendicular to this point. So then we have what? D2. Right? So it means that we have because this is perpendicular, so it means that remember that this line bisecting the angle theta into 2 equal parts. Right? So remember that L1 it's an equation which is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. And then L2, this is what? Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Okay? So remember that this is figure 7.3. Okay? So we have a theorem, and this is a very interesting theorem. Okay, distance 1 at every point on bisector line. So we have a theorem which is going to guide us. Okay? And remember that D1, where D1 represents distance from what? From point Q to line 2. And whereby D2 representing a distance from point Q to line 1. No, vice versa. So from Q to line 1, and here from Q to line 2. Okay, so we go for the first thing of our derivation. The first thing, say that we call theorem of what? Of perpendicular, theorem of 2 perpendicular distance. Perpendicular theorem is perpendicular distance. So we say that according to the theorem, perpendicular distance, d1 is equal to d2. The distance from any point to this line, but perpendicular, so it means that the distance from this point, even if we can take this point, can have a point there, but we have to draw the perpendicular line, okay, by using what? By using a protector, okay, perpendicular line, and also we draw another perpendicular line. So it means that the distance from here to here will be equal to the distance from here to here. Even if that you want to draw from this point, but you draw what? The perpendicular line, which is 90 degree. So it means that there's 90 degree here and 90 degree. And also with the distance, when you draw another perpendicular line towards line 0, line 2. So remember that this distance, which you can call x1 and x2, will be the same. So we can just call it d1 because it's still the same. So d1 will be d2, but because of the different point, so you can call that this is, let's say, d1 and d2, but will be different because the distance is going to increase, but will be equal. So that's the principle. Okay. So even if whether you consider positive side or negative side, whatever that you consider, the distance will be the same. Or you can say even d1 is equal to d2. So that's the theorem that you have to use on finding perpendicular distance. So the fifth step, we say that, so you have to remember that. The fifth step, we say that you have to recall the formula of what? Of perpendicular distance. The one we told you in session 4, no, in session, especially session 5, perpendicular distance from the point to a line. The one that I taught you how you can derive this formula in session 5 of this topic. So it's a distance is equal to ax plus by plus c, and then absolute of ax plus by plus c, and over what is square root of a square plus b square. This is the general formula, right? So then we say that the distance, the perpendicular distance from point Q to line 2. Line 2. So it means that for this case now, d1 will be the perpendicular distance from point Q to line 1. Oh no, to line 2. And this line 2 is what? Line 2, it is ax. So it is what? So it's absolute of ax plus by plus c divided by what? Square root of a square plus b square. That's the one. Okay, so this is question 2. Suppose that this is question 1. Okay, so that is question 2. Again, d2, it's a distance from Q to line 1. To line 1 or to line 2? To line 2. Line 2. Excuse me. D1, yeah. So D2, it's a distance from point Q to line 1. So D2 it is absolute of ax plus by plus c over what? Over square root a square plus b square. So this is d2. d2, this is absolute of ax plus by plus c. Then this is the square root of what? Of a square, b square. So this is question 3. So, if that the case, you say that you go for the 60 step. 60 step, you say that substitute equation 2 and the equation 3 into equation 1. So if you substitute, you get that. Okay, so you substitute in either you may get that because equation 1 is d1 is equal to d2. So d1 we have absolute of ax plus by plus c over square root of what? A square plus b square. This is equal to what? Absolute of ax by plus c of what? Over square root of a square plus b square. Wonderful. So they have this one, we would like just to find. Remember that the coefficients are different, the equations will be different. In each line will be given the equation. Okay? So simply we can say that, okay, remember that. Because I told you that the meaning of absolute sign is plus or minus. So if that's the case, we should remove what? The absolute sign in one of the equation, right? So in one of the equation, it means that we say the absolute sign represents that we have ax plus by plus c, okay, of what? In order for us to find a square plus b square. Then this one will be equal to plus or minus ax plus by plus c divided by what? Square root of a square plus b square. And the next stage will be what? The simplification. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the general formula of an equation of an angle bisector in coordinate geometry. So it can be in this form or it can be in this form, but in order for you to simplify, you have to remove the absolute symbol. So it means that we have to tolerance. So plus or minus. So you're going to have, so even here, if you transform, you have to remove also this absolute sign because to make a kind of confusion. So that the general formula or that form. So you go for the seventh step. Say that from what? From the formula above, from the above formula. Okay. You obtain two equations of the angle bisector. You obtain two equations of what? Of an angle bisector. So you have positive equation. Positive equation, say positive equation. So positive equation, say that is the equation, positive equation of the angle bisector. So positive equation of what? Of an angle bisector. Is the equation which divides the acute angle. The equation that divides the acute angle. That's the meaning of positive equation. Is a equation of an it means that the positive equation of an angle bisector is a equation which divides the acute angle. So this one will get it from this formula that ax plus by plus c of what? Over square root of a square b square is equal to positive what? Ax plus by plus c over square root of what? Of a square plus b square, or vice versa. So this is the general formula for the positive equation, because we will be asked to find the equation of an angle bisector. The questions will not just clarify, but remember equation of an angle bisector are two. This is for acute angle. Then we say the negative equation of an angle bisector. Negative equation, it's a simple concept of an angle bisector. Of an angle bisector is what? Is a equation which divides what? Opposite angle. Which divides opposite angle. So from the general formula, we will obtain the equation of the line that divides opposite angle by using this formula. Solving the questions is very simple if you understand what I'm teaching you. So this is ax plus by plus c, then square root of what? Of a square plus b square. B square, right? So this one will be negative of what? Of ax by plus c of what? Of a square root of a square plus b square. So this is the formula. Form of the two equations will be different because this will be negative and this will be positive part. Okay. Have you understood? Did you understand the derivation? Have you understood the first formula to find the acute angle bisector? The equations of the equations of an acute angle bisector. Have you understood how you can find the equations of an opposite angle bisector? It's a real challenging. These are very challenging. However, that the questions will ask you, it will be a gem. I will do two questions and I will leave one for the homework for you that you have to do. The questions are straightforward, but they will be asking about the equation of angle bisector. But in your mind, as mathematicians, right? As students, as advanced students who love mathematics, you should know, you should understand what it means of angle bisector. Okay, so we have two possibilities. We can divide an acute angle into two equal angles, or an opposite angle into two equal angles. So it means equation bisector, it may be either an acute equation of bisector or an opposite equation of bisector. So you won't be limited unless that will be limited. But in most equations which have been asked in pure mathematics written by an author called the Tranter, they are straightforward that find the equation bisector. That's all, right? So find the equation bisector. That's what you've been asked. That's what you have to expect. All right. So I believe that if you have any question about the revision, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. And then again, I want you to have instructions to yourself, very important information. How can you order this syllabus book? This is very important syllabus book that I would recommend every advanced secondary students who loves advanced mathematics to have this. And you can order also some other, you can order scientific calculator in TANZANIA online advanced library. You can order also reference books such as Pure Mathematics 1. So just go to the descriptions of this video and click the buttons of show more, where you'll see the link that will send you into our TANZANIA online advanced library. Don't miss it, because we like to equip you to have this material. Not doing business actual, we are just equipping our students in order for them to go far as God they can take them, in order to change the life of the Tanzanians and the life of the Africans and the life of the entire world. Because I know that even yourself, you can contribute something in mathematics for the present and future generation, right? So right now, let me, ladies and gentlemen, let me teach the next example. Okay, the questions now are about the equation of the angle bisector. Okay, in previous session, that session 6, we ended example 12, which was homework. Very simple homework. I believe that many of my students have done it successfully. That's why even I didn't waste my time to do correction, because everything has been taught smoothly so that we can take advantage of it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is example 13. And then let me just present to you. It's find the equation of bisectors. So it's plural. Find the equation of bisectors. Bisectors. Find the equation of bisectors. Okay, bisectors. Find the equation of bisectors of the angle between. Of the angle. Of the angle between what? Between the lines. Between lines. We have two lines. 6x minus 7y, then plus 11 is equal to 0. And what? 2x plus 9y plus what? Plus 2 is equal to 0. Find the equation of bisectors of the angle between the lines 6x minus 7y plus 11 is equal to 0 and 2x plus 9y plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, find the equation of bisectors of the angle between the lines 6x minus 7y plus 11 is equal to 0 and 2x plus 9y plus 2 is equal to 0. So, that's the question. So, if you read this question carefully, you've been asked more than one equation, because it's plural. Okay? So, we can solve this question easily because you've been following smoothly solution. The first step, you can sketch. You're allowed to sketch. Just you use the x-intercept and y-intercept. And then you can just probably that say, these are the line bisectors. So the first step, which is quiz, okay? Sketch what? Sketch the graph of what? Of 6x minus 7y plus 11 is equal to 0. And then the graph of 2x plus 9y on the same xy plane. And what? An acute angle bisector. Equation of what? Of acute angle bisector. And the equation of obtuse angle bisector. Obtuse angle bisector on xy plane. On the same xy plane, not two, on the same xy plane. Okay, so if that's the case, we say that at the first step. So that's the quiz. The second step, recall what? Second step, use the x-intercept to sketch this, which we taught you in O-level. Recall the formula of perpendicular formula of perpendicular bisector. Called the formula of perpendicular bisector. The formula of perpendicular distance from a point to a line, which we told you in previous session. But here we have to recall the formula of perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. So the formula states that AX, absolute of AX plus, or we say that AX plus BY plus C of what? Square root of A square plus B square. This is equal to plus or minus AX plus BY plus C of what? Of a square root of A square plus B square. Okay? So the first equation, so you're going to have two equations. So you can choose, you can let any equation. It means that can let n. So it means that the third step, okay, you can let that equation AX BY plus C to be equivalent to what? With 6x minus 7y minus 7y plus 11 is equal to 0. And also you can let that AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0 to be equivalent with what? The next one. 2x plus what? Plus 9y. Then you say plus what? Plus 2 is equal to 0. So is that the case? But I think that these expressions, okay? So if that the case, you say that now 6x minus 7y plus 11 over square root. So if you compare this with, so if you compare here, A is equal to 6, and then B is equal to what? B is equal to negative 7, and then capital C is equal to 11. Also here, if you compare, you find that, so compare, okay, then compare this one with what? Is 2x. So it means that A is equal to 2, B is equal to 9, C is equal to 2. Okay? So it means that 8 is 6 squared plus negative 7 squared. Okay? And this is equal to what? Plus or minus. Then we say that what? Here we have what? The equation, which is what? 2x plus 9y plus 2 of what? Of a square root of 2 squared plus 9 squared. Okay. So remember, we are finding the equation. So expecting the equation to be in form of AX plus BY plus C. So here we have 6x minus 7y plus what? Plus 11. And then here we have a square root of what? Okay, 6 squared is 36. And then negative 7 squared is 49. So this is equal to plus or minus, it is 2x plus 9y plus 2 of what? The square root of 4 plus 81. So then this is 6x minus 7y plus 11 of what? Of a square root of what? Of 70 to be 15. Keep 1, so we have 85. This is equal to plus or minus of what? Of 2x plus 9y plus 2 over square root of what? 85. Okay, 85. So if that's the case, this one and this one will cancel. So the first equation, which will be the acute, so this will be what? The first state. So we say that the positive equation is what? Is acute what? Acute angle bisector. Angle bisector. So it means this one, it means that, so find. So it is 6x minus 7y plus 11. Then this is equal to positive, what? 2x plus 9y plus 2. So then we bring on this side, we have 6x minus 2x minus 7y minus 9y plus 11 minus 2 is equal to 0. So this is 4x, and then we have what? Negative 16y, then plus what? 9 is equal to 0. So that's the equation that we have. Okay? So this is the first equation of 40 of bisector of the angle. Okay? And then the second, find what? Of angle bisector. Find equation of angle bisector. So to find it, we have what? We have 6x minus 7y. So we have to come back into this equation. So suppose that this is equation 2. Or let's say equation 1. Oh, this is equation 1. This is question 2. Okay? So you have to refine question 2. So it is 6x minus 7y plus 11. Right? And then this one is equal to negative 2x plus 9y plus 2. So if you simplify 6x minus 2x is 4x. Now first of all, we open the bracket, so 6x minus 7y plus 11 is equal to negative 2x. Then we have what? Negative 9y, negative 2. Okay, so then we say that we have 6x minus plus 2x, not minus now, because it's negative 2x. Then we have minus 7y plus 9y plus 11. Then minus plus 2 is equal to 0. So this will make 8x, and here we have what? Half plus what? 2y, and this is what? 13 is equal to 0. So 8x plus what? So 8x. So the answer is 8x plus 2y plus 13 is equal to 0. So therefore, the equation of angle or bisector of the angle, or the equation of angle bisector of the line, bisector of the two lines. The two lines are the first one 4x then 4x minus 16y, then plus 9 is equal to 0. And then the other one, and what? 8x plus 2y plus 13 is equal to 0. So this is the solution for example 13. Do you understand? If you have any question, don't hesitate. Please ask in the comment section. So ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you example 14. Then I will give you the homework and wind up the session. And this is a little bit concept for the way it is. Find the equation of bisectors between line x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. So this means find the equation bisector of what? Means that x is equal to 0. This means it's y-axis, and the y is equal to 0. This means it's what? X-axis. So you can sketch, justify. And the good thing that these equations are, are equal. Solution. These equations are very simple for you. Solution. The first step, sketch. X is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Let me sketch for you so that you may enjoy the beauty and you may see sometimes how drawing can simplify your life in mathematics. Okay, so if you sketch, so that this is x-axis. So along this line, x is equal to 0 because this is the origin. Along this line, y is equal to 0. This is still this y-axis, and this is what it is, x-axis. So it means that the two lines, so suppose that this is line 1, and suppose that this is line 2. So they have intersected here at origin. So it means that these two lines here made what? An angle for 90 degrees. And also here 90 degrees. So you can call it an acute angle, but here it means that the acute angle is equal to obtuse angle for this case. Also here, if you call this as obtuse angle, it is 90, and here it is 90. So it means that this is right angle. Right? So to find the equation of the line, you can just get them from the graph. So it means the line that dividing the angle into equal, we have what? So it can be that line. We have two lines, or it can be this line. Okay? So remember that this is figure 7.4. Okay? So these lines are what we call equation of the angle bisector. These two lines. Right? Equation of the angle bisector. So this is right angle here. And then here we have what? Right angle. Even this is right angle, still right angle. Right angle. Okay. Okay, so if that's the case, we can determine this equation of bisector by just using the graph. How? We know the equation of this line is y is equal to 0 and this one y x is equal to 0. These are the common lines. The line which passing through origin and divide the origins into two equal parts, because remember that this one will be 45 degree and this end will be 45 degree and here it will be 45 degree and here 45 degree and here it is 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 45 degree. Right? So total is 360. Okay? So we say that it's only one line which dividing the right angle into equal parts. And this line, if it lies along passing through the center, but lies along the right hand side, then its equation is y is equal to x. You remember that. I told you in Form 4 if I'm not mistaken. And also if it lies along the left hand side, so this way. So the equation of this line is y is equal to negative x. So if it lies along the right hand side, is y is equal to positive x. And lies along the left hand side is y is equal to negative x. So the equation bisector are what? So it means that from the graph above, the equation of angle bisector angle bisectors are the equations. The angle bisectors are y is equal to x and y is equal to negative x. This is the response. I know that some of my students who are watching this program right now, or even some of the new students, they don't believe what I'm telling them because they forgot the principles of geometry or relationship between the line and the angle in coordinate geometry. So let us use the formula. So the second step, say that we call the formula of what? Of angle bisector. Called the formula of the angle bisector. So we call the formula of the angle bisector. Then we say that the formula states that absolute of ax plus by plus c, okay, of what? Of a square root of what? Of a square plus b square. This is equal to absolute of ax plus by plus c over square root of a square plus b square. So if you simplify, you find that in most cases those are equal. Okay? So simply after simplification, say that you have ax plus by plus c. This is equal to plus or minus ax plus by plus c. But here we have square root a square plus b square, and then here we have what? Square root of a square plus what is b square. Right? So we'll be given two equations. The first one, y is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 if we compare this. So y is equal to 0, simply this is what? This is y. Yes, y is equal to 0. Right? So this means that here we have what? We have 0x plus y plus 0 is equal to 0. So suppose that this is equation 2 and this was equation 1. So if you compare it, if you compare equation 2 with what? With ax plus by plus c. Then we find that a is equal to 0, b is equal to 1, c is equal to 0. Okay? Again, we had x is equal to 0. This means that x plus 0y plus the value of c is 0 is equal to 0. So if you compare, so suppose that this is equation what? 3. This is equation 3, okay? So if you compare what? Compare equation 3 with what? With ax plus by plus c is equal to what? Is equal to 0. And this will make a, lowercase a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, and c is equal to 0. So if you substitute into the formula of finding perpendicular distance from the point to a line, then we get what? So here we have a, what the coefficient of capital letter A is 0, x, then plus what? 1, y, then plus 0, divided by what? Square root of 0 square and 1 square. This is equal to plus or minus what? We have what? 1 times x, then plus what? 1x plus 0y plus 0, divided by what? Divided by square root of 1 square plus 0 square. So simply this will make what? Y on this side over 1, because square root of 1 is 1, is equal to plus or minus what? X, because everything is 0, over 1. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking the equations of what? The positive equation, so y is equal to plus what? Positive what? X. Or y is equal to negative x. So that's why we concluded. So you see, the formula relies or the formula gives the same response with the response we have got from the graph. So therefore, we say that the equations of the lines, the equation of the angle bisector between y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0 are what? Are y is equal to positive x or y is equal to x, and the other one, y is equal to negative x. So that's the response. Wonderful. I believe that you've been enjoying the beauty of equations of the angle bisector in coordinate geometry 1. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you into the next step. And this next step it's a time for the homework. So this is homework. Tell your neighbor it's a time for homework. So this is homework what? This is homework 6, 7. And this is example 15. Example 15. Determine the equation of the bisector of the lines that determine the equation of the bisector determine the equation of the bisector of lines. Mind the equations of the bisectors of lines 2x plus y minus 2x plus y minus 3 is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. And the other one, y is equal to 1 over 4 x. Y is equal to 1 over 4x plus what? Plus 3. So determine the equation of the bisectors of the lines. 2x plus y minus 3 is equal to 0, and y is equal to quarter x plus 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say this is the end of session 7. I thank God who have created me in his own image. And I thank God who have given me the gift of teaching. Really, this is the gift from God. I have nothing to boast myself. I give him all the glory and all the praise because he's the one who is doing this program in me. I would like just to give you a couple of announcements before we end this session. I would like just to remind you that make sure that you do the homework and submit your homework in the comment section. Ask your questions, any questions from the beginning to the session of this session, of session 7 to the end in the comment sections of this video, and then tell us in the comment sections that you enjoy this content from which country, from which continent, from which region, from which advanced secondary school. So tell us from which regions in Tanzania, whether from Kagera, you enjoy this content from Ruvuma, you enjoy this content from Mara. We want to know that how this message is spread in order to impact the life of advanced secondary students in Tanzania, for them to be successful in life through the understanding, knowledge, and the logic and the wisdom in advanced mathematics. Again, we insist you to ask you to just remind you, please subscribe and also share these contents with other students because you'll get notifications. The last announcement before just I leave you in order to go through this video several times as well as you can, I would like just to remind you that first of all, give God thanks for you to have these contents or to have these programs free of charge. Really, I could charge you a lot amount of money because I used to teach this stuff for 5 years physically. I know how much I was charging my students, however that I was helping them, but these materials are worth. But the God who have given me, who have created me in his own image and gave me the gift of teaching and gave me the extraordinary understanding of advanced mathematics, advanced physics, advanced chemistry, and basic applied mathematics, has told me to do this program just to make it free and available to the students of all the financial level, or all the financial, to the poverty student and even to the wealthy students. But the doors are open for you to offer God your free willing thanksgiving through Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket. Just you have to say that, God, thank you. And then you offer something in order for you to support the running cost. So in case that you feel from your heart, because you have to offer it from your heart. Don't offer it from your mind or because of this announcement. No, that should be connected from your heart, because in such a way, God is going to do great things in your life and in academics, in just understand this stuff and going extraordinary of what I told you. So you may offer your feeling thanksgiving through this telephone number 0759-745331, and we receive with hand of thanks, and may God bless you abundantly for that. Invite some other pre-form 5 students or form 5 students to come and enjoy the beauty of advanced mathematics. Again, remember that we have also content for advanced physics in the same YouTube channel. We have also contents for advanced chemistry. We have also content for basic applied mathematics. In case you know any students who can benefit from those contents, please just send him the link of this channel or send the link of this video for them to take advantage, because the solution of their problems now is at their hand. So I thank you for being with me. I would like to invite you to join me in the session 8, when I will teach you about the other concepts, which is very interesting for you in order to go further as well as you can. So may God bless you until we meet in the next session. And I love you so much, and may God keep you. This is Olenjolai from Tanzania. I love you so much. Keep enjoying the beauty of advanced mathematics for the rest of your life.